What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of my Dark Deku Cosplay series. Today's episode we're going to be working on the battle damaged Iron Souls. I gotta give a huge shout out to Benny at AnatomicCosplay for showing me really good basics on 3D modeling on Blender. I'm just going to go ahead and leave a link to the video that they posted. They have a really good video on 3D modeling in Blender and I used that to create my shoes here. So instead of acting like I know what I'm doing, I'm just going to leave a link in the description and also at the end of the video and also in the corner here you can click that. And coincidentally, I lost the Blender file somehow. The file that I was using to actually make the Iron Souls. So the only footage I have left of me actually making the stuff properly is on my Instagram. You can see here I have a bird's eye view photo of the shoe that I'm gonna be wearing and also a side profile photo of the shoe. And I just took that into Photoshop and then drew the basic shape of the Iron Souls that I wanted to create. And then I basically just used those drawings as my reference photo, scaled them up properly, and then used Benny's 3D modeling pointers to create each piece of the 3D model. I hope I explained that pretty well, but if not, there's a whole other YouTube video that you could watch. After modeling all that, I 3D printed the metal plates out of a TPU filament, so that way it's flexible and it won't break while I'm wearing it out in the convention. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I finished the Dark Deku cosplay and actually wore it to San Japan. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you out there because the amount of support that I've been getting on this costume has been overwhelming. And it all started when I made a poll on Instagram saying whether or not I should make this costume or not. And I think 100% of the people who voted said yes. So this probably wouldn't have happened without you because I was on the fence on whether or not to make this costume. So I wanted to thank you all again. And I also wanted to let y'all know that the 3D models for the Iron Souls that I made are going to be available on my Etsy store if you're interested. I think that's all the announcements I wanted to make. So thank you all again for all the support you've been giving me. And I'm going to send y'all to the video and I hope you enjoy. So here are my TPU 3D printed Iron Souls that I modeled and designed for the Dark Deku costume. You can see each plate is on a pivot where these little rivets are. These rivets are screwed onto a back piece here. And this took so long. It took me so long to smoothen this out because originally there was TPU stringing everywhere, and the way I got it this smooth was I was using the Dremel with these bits here. These I think are the #1 option to go to if you're going to be sanding anything TPU. My only problem now is that after sanding them, you can see it really changes the texture there and kind of makes it obvious, which for me it's fine because these are going to be super weathered. But if you're planning on actually like painting these things, then I would recommend doing a layer of something so that there is a uniform coating around it and it doesn't look like the paint is a little botchy, a little messed up. This is designed to fit my shoe. My shoe goes from the back all the way to like right here. So I'm a size US 13 men's shoes, so that's what this is gonna fit. Of course, if your shoe is a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, then this should be fine for you. But if you're like a size 7, you're gonna have to shrink this down a lot. I would say mostly just this front piece. Now, when I designed the front toes here, I kind of designed these two pieces to kind of look like bones, like very cartoony looking, like skeletal fingers. You also see I have these little pieces sticking out here, and the reason I did TPU was for many reasons. One, it's flexible. If I were to do this with something like PETG or PLA, a very hard plastic like one of these grappling hooks are, if these pieces were grinding against each other, the paint is going to chip off and then it will give away the illusion that this is made of metal. I think what I'm gonna use is this Mod Podge matte seal. I'm not sure how this is gonna work out. I'm gonna have to do a test run with something. This will pretty much prime this entire thing and hopefully give it a top coating that kind of dulls the really scuffed parts that I had to make. I don't doubt that they'll still show up, but hopefully it'll be a lot less. So I designed the model to look like it was already kind of mangled. But something I'm going to do now is I have this soldering kit, this specific one. I really like this kit. They've upgraded it now, so it kind of looks different now, but I'll leave a link in the description for one similar to this one. This model in particular runs on butane. It's good for portability, I guess. That tip there is going to get really hot, and then I could just score scratch marks here. He's probably getting hit with concrete bricks and just the regular wear and tear of being in battle with this for like days straight. So I'm going to use this to add really deep scratches into these pieces, and then I might reprint these pieces black. These rivets here, as well as this little screw piece there, and these lines in the back, they're going to be painted gold. So I also have these pins printed. Now they're gonna work almost the exact same as how I'm doing the belt buckles for the belt. Basically, I did mess up printing this. I didn't know exactly how I was gonna print this since it doesn't have one of these rivets attached to it. So I ended up printing it with some stuff sticking out here. And then what I decided to do was, this is big enough to fit through the last hole on this pivot part. This is gonna go through the hole on the pivot, and in this part, I drilled a little hole there. It's just gonna stick right into it, and because it's TPU, it's gonna stretch with it. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of super glue so that it holds it. This piece is gonna fit into that hole. I'm gonna add some super glue into that hole. For some reason, I didn't film myself finishing putting everything all together, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. Pieces are done, but you can see I repainted the rivets here with some gold. I also did that to the little screw piece here and the back pieces here, not that piece. So there's that, and then we're going to attach it through the little plate here, as well as all these, and then attach it through the little pivot part. And then we have our little screw piece that we made, and then we just have to screw that in. I designed them to have little screwdriver heads so that I could just grab a screwdriver and twist it. Now for the toes that I call them, you can see I have that exact piece that I was just talking about in the previous clip, but it's printed differently. All I did was just make it a little smaller so that it's not sticking out. The way I attached it was exactly how I said. I added some glue to the hole of the little piece there, and then I grabbed these pliers and then added a little towel to this end and then squeezed them together until it pushed itself all the way as flush as it can. So now we have a full range of motion here. So those are the battle damaged iron soles for my Dark Deku cosplay. You can see the way you put this on is you put your foot through here first, and then you kind of turn it so that you could put your shoe on and then tie your shoe. And then you could just turn this around and then push it down onto your shoe, and it'll just fit right over it. You can see there's a little con damage here just from scraping it. I've worn these to San Japan and they worked beautifully. They didn't just like pop off of my shoe and then pivoted to the left or right or whatever. They actually fit snugly enough onto it where they just remained in place the entire time. I initially thought I was gonna have to attach a little strap to the bottom here just so that the shoe won't come off. From my experience, I do not have to do that, and it's con safe. If you bump into someone here, it's not going to damage them or scratch them up because it's a flexible filament, which I recommend you print these as well. You can see the layer lines when I'm printing it. From my research, most of this stuff is because of humidity and the water getting into the plastic as it's like printing. I live over here in the Houston area of Texas, so it is extremely humid all the time. So unless I can make like a chamber for this printing stuff to go on, then I won't have as badly layer lines as that. But it doesn't show up in photos as far as I'm concerned, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. Also, something I didn't even consider when making these out of TPU, whenever you're packing up your stuff, you don't have to take it apart. You could stuff things into the bottom part here and you don't have to worry about it breaking because it's flexible. Pretty much stuff this into anywhere and it'll remain perfectly fine. As always, there's a few touch-ups that I'm gonna have to make, but luckily these are removable, which is something else I didn't even consider, having to repaint some stuff here. And then of course the battle damage silver here kind of makes up for the bad kind of printing. So there's that. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna do some final shots of just showing them off, and now I am done with Deku's battle damaged iron soles. there you have my battle damaged iron souls for my Dark Deku cosplay. I'm very happy with the way that they turned out. I'm very happy that I chose TPU filament. I found it very useful at the convention that they are flexible. They move at the pivot that I intended them to, and they didn't cause me any problems at all when I was wearing them on the floor. Thank you all again. Let me know what you think about the shorter videos. I know this was a short video because this was like a really simple build to make. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram because I'm posting a little more updates on things that I'm working on. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to share it with anyone that you think might be interested. If you have any questions or anything that you think I didn't mention in this video, make sure to leave it in the comment section. I'll try to answer them. And that's it. Let me know what you think of the iron souls that I made. And I'll talk to you guys later in the next episode of whatever I do. Goodbye.